The Memphis apartment market remains, all in all, in pretty rough shape. However, we are seeing the needle move in the right direction with some strong demand in 3 of the past 4 quarters. Welcome to Apartment Market Dynamics from MPF Research. I'm Jay Parsons with your Memphis update. We are starting to see some encouraging progress in the Memphis apartment market. Let's start with some demand numbers for you. Quarterly demand has topped 1,000 units in 3 of the past 4 quarters. Prior to that, demand had reached 1,000 units only twice since the start of 2007, so that is good to see, and that brings the annual absorption number to 2,580 units, the Metro's best performance since Q3 of 2007. And that number would be even better if not for some deep net move-outs in 4th quarter of 2011. And since new supply has been limited over this time period, that strong demand is leading to big occupancy growth. Memphis is one of just 3 markets nationally to see occupancy growth of 100 basis points or more in each of the past 2 quarters, and occupancy climbed 100 basis points exactly in Q2 of 2012, and it is up 200 basis points year over year, and that annual number ranked 7th among the nation's core 100 markets. Occupancy growth has been nearly universal across the Memphis apartment market over the past year, with the biggest gains coming in those bottom-tier, more affordable submarkets and in the older product age groups, which had the most room to improve. And of course, there's still a big hole left to fill. Despite the recent growth spurt, occupancy in Memphis remains weak at just 92.3%. That is the nation's 7th weakest occupancy rate as of Q2 2012. 5 of the bottom 7 are located in the South: Mobile, Jacksonville, Columbia, and Atlanta. And the only other 2 worse than Memphis were Las Vegas and Tucson. And every time we talk about Memphis, we talk about how this is one of the most bifurcated markets in the country. When you look at submarkets, the higher end submarkets tend to post better occupancy rates. When you look at product age groups, the newer product age categories tend to post better occupancy rates as well, and rates tend to be terrible in bottom tier product. So let's start with a submarket story. Cordova, Germantown, Collierville, the Metro's eastern suburbs continue to do well, occupancy at 95.4%. Downtown Memphis, not too far behind, 94.2%. And these are by far Memphis's most expensive submarkets in terms of average rents. And the other 4 submarkets you could see very weak occupancy rates, all around 90 to 91%. Now let's take a look at occupancy by product age group. Strong rates in the top tier, 95.6 in the 2000 plus group, 95.3 in the 1990s era units, and much weaker as we get into those older groups, 92.5 in the 80s, 88.8 in the 70s, and just 87.9% in the pre-1970 category. And again, this is a very typical pattern for the Memphis apartment market. And on the pricing side, rent growth levels have been modest to moderate across the board. Overall, same-store rents inched up 0.4% in Q2 and climbed 2.6% year over year, and that puts Memphis well below the U.S. average of 4%. And looking ahead, it's going to be tough for Memphis to sustain the strong apartment demand that we've seen in the past year. And one reason is that single-family homes are very affordable in the Memphis metro, so the top tier is at risk of losing some of their best renters to home purchase, while in the bottom tier properties, they're going to continue to compete with a very active shadow market of privately owned single-family homes offered for rent. And so all in all, we're expecting occupancy in Memphis to climb just 80 basis points to 93.1% over the next year. And a quick plug to close it out, MPF Research is hosting its annual Southeast Apartment Markets Conference on September 18th in Atlanta, and you can hear all about Memphis and all of the other markets in the Southeast at that point. And so you could get more information at www.mpfresearch.com. And that wraps us up for Memphis, so until next time for Apartment Market Dynamics and MPF Research, I'm Jay Parsons. Thank you for watching.
Want more? Go deeper with NPF Research's apartment market reports. From a national level, down to individual metros, to specific neighborhoods, NPF Research has been providing unparalleled apartment market intelligence to the multifamily industry for almost 5 decades. Learn more by contacting us at 877-284-4938 or visit www.npfresearch.com and click on Market Reports.